I wouldn't believe it even if I was saying it. And I'm saying it. Welcome back to the TrapHouse podcast. I'm excited to have you listening today. I'm excited that you've taken a little bit of time out of your day, your hectic, chaotic, stressful, overwhelming day. Or you took some time out of your pleasant, happy, smooth sailing, everything's honky-dory day. I appreciate the fact that you're taking time to listen. Now, I know you aren't listening. I know. I can see. It's all right. I encourage you to listen because today, on this day in time, we're a teenager, folks. We're a teenager. Episode 13 of the TrapHouse podcast is finally hitting your fucking ear holes. And it's coming out of my face mouth, my face hole. Episode 13, welcome back. Today, tomorrow, 5 years down the road, either way, if you're listening, thanks for showing up. If you only listen for a couple of minutes, hey, thanks. If you listen to the whole goddamn thing, at least smash that fucking like button. It goes a long way. You pushed the like button on something that made sense. You pushed the like button, you commented on something that isn't about the news. You commented, you subscribed to something that's not all about what's going on already. Nobody here's trying to brainwash you, that's a fact, in my opinion. Nobody here's trying to convince you to live a shit life. Nobody here's trying to convince you to live inside. The only thing Epiphany Chris is trying to bring to you is good energy. Do we get into some crazy topics sometimes? Do we get a little hyped up? Fuck yeah. Why wouldn't we? We're human. And being human is literally one of the things we're good at. So why would you waste your time doing anything else? You know? Having to sit back and see that this world is literally in a downward spiral. We're not even trying to get out of it. How big can we build the next drill to get ourselves even deeper into the hole we're already in? Now I understand. You need the news to tell you how to live your life. You need the news to tell you what Uncle Ben had for lunch. You need the news to tell you how the weather's going to be. You need the news to tell you what's going on over in Uzbekistan. You need the news to tell you what's going on in Yemen. You need the news to tell you what's going on over in Portugal. We need the news to tell us we need it, right? How many of you wake up every day and the first thing you do is turn on the news? The first thing you do is say, "Oh, I got to check the weather." Or I got to check the roads. I got to see if the path is clear to get to work. I've got to check the news to see if there's anything good on there today. And I can almost guarantee you a good majority of you who do watch the news every day are in hopes of some good fucking news. Have you been satisfied lately? I'll tell you right now, if you were listening to this podcast, you wouldn't feel so bad. You wouldn't feel like, oh shit, I turned on the news because I wanted the weather, but I see that 17 more kids get shot over in Wisconsin. This is the shit you want to wake up to? That's how you want to start your fucking day? You want to start your day waking up and then hearing about garbage? I don't know about you folks. I really don't get it. You know it causes anxiety or whatever. I mean, let me just say it. You choose to have anxiety throughout the day. You choose it. You do. You choose. You choose that. If you wake up every day and you say, I'm going to watch the news, you choose to have a shitty day. You're choosing that right off the bat. You're not even rolled out of bed yet, but your alarm says it's 6:30. So you roll over, you grab your little clicker and you click on the news, let your eye boogers, wipe your eye boogies or whatever. You're sitting in bed and you're perked up and maybe your other half brings you a coffee or whatever while you're in bed. Who knows? I don't know how it works for you fucks who watch the news. I really don't know. But when you wake up in the morning and that's the first thing you turn on, in hopes of some good news, I bet you this. I bet if you go shit in one hand and wish for good news in the other, I bet you're going to be cleaning up a big mess in your one of those hands. Because it ain't going to be filled with no good fucking news from the news. So let me just offer you something. Why don't you like this, comment on it, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then share it with your friends. Just because there's some good news in here. And I ain't talking about the Bible either. That good news is for somebody else. If you need it, you need it. But I'll tell you this, from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of my heart, who has ever heard this phrase? From the bottom of my heart. Now let's think about it for a second. Now, from the bottom of my heart, I hope you all choose to make wise choices. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So just wake the fuck up. Wake up. Wake up. Here's a riddle. The best part of waking up is waking up. Has nothing to do with no fucking coffee. Wake the fuck up. Anyway, that's a strange way to start the pod, but guess what? We're a teenager now. We're 13. We're 13 episodes deep. We're teenagers now. We do whatever the fuck we want. I'm going to say and do whatever the fuck I want. We're going to say and do whatever the fuck we want. We're 13. We know everything. So today on the TrapHouse podcast, brought to you by Epiphany Chris, I'm just glad you're showing up today. I really am. And I wish you could see it. The look on my face is priceless right now for how much I appreciate you as a listener. If you're listening to this instead of watching the news, you're probably going to have a better day. If you're listening to this rather than watching CNN, you're probably going to have a better day. If you're sipping a cup of coffee right now and you actually have the news or you're listening to the radio and they have something good to say, I want to know about it. Write it in the goddamn comments. I want to know the good news. Jesus Christ. I want to know. I want some of this good news you guys are waiting for. And if you happen to come across some, please let me know. But if you don't, like, comment, subscribe, and share this motherfucker. Because we got some good things to talk about today. Let's talk about making plans. Have you ever made plans with somebody before? Have you ever made plans with another human or maybe a group of humans? You ever just make plans and then nothing comes of it? Have you ever made plans and were really excited about those plans and then people were cunts? Or a human was a cunt? Or plans got canceled last minute after lots of planning? How'd you feel? How did you feel when your plans got canceled? Did your feelings get hurt? Is it difficult to be honest with people when you make plans? You make a plan. Doesn't matter what that plan is. It could be going to the beach. It could be showing up for work. It could be going grocery shopping. You make plans. If you make plans with somebody or with a group of humans, hey, say you all wanted to go play some kickball. You make plans to go play kickball. You know how hard that is to get enough people together to play kickball? So you make plans. You get them plans in motion and everything's good. You're feeling good about them plans, and then nothing. There's no more contact. And then the day the event, or whatever the day of the planned event was, or the planned plan was, there's nobody there. You ever make those kind of plans and then just are ghosted? Is that what the kids are calling it? How'd you feel? How'd you feel? Were you the one who made the plans, or came up with the plans, or were you part of the plan making? And then all that plan making, and put your you put your heart into it. You know, you had a lot of feelings that may have been anticipated for that event, and then that event never happens. How'd you feel? How'd you feel after? Were you the person who just didn't show up for the plan? Or were you the person who showed up and then now have that where is everybody kind of feeling? Which side are you on? What cunt are you? And I say cunt because those who agree to plans and then it's just awkward. You never know why it happens, because then there's no interaction afterwards. So is there a difficulty nowadays with people just being straightforward with other humans? Why is that so hard? I'll give an example. Let's see. When I was... All right, we're going to go way back, okay? We're going to go way back. We're going to go way back. It's a little foreshadowing, but when you make plans to go mini golfing with somebody, you know, as a kid, you're excited about this mini golf adventure. You make plans, there's plans, and then you don't go for 6 years. Whew. That's some poor planning, isn't it? But this is what I'm saying. You make the plans, everything's in place, and then nothing. And it's not really nothing, it's just ignorance. Is ignorance really bliss? It seems like it, but only to us. Ignorance is bliss, but only to us. Only to me. Only to you is ignorance bliss. Because if ignorance was bliss and you applied that to another human, if you think their ignorance is bliss, you know, you would never think that, because when they're ignorant, you are some sort of way, right? So ignorance is bliss literally is only for the individual. My ignorance is bliss. Your ignorance is bliss. Everything else, ignorance is bliss. So as long as it applies to the singular and not the larger amount, that's where ignorance is bliss makes sense, because when you make plans and then nothing or ignorance happens, what do you do? What do you do? You could know this person for 100 years. You could know them for 10 minutes. It doesn't, any plans you've ever made. It doesn't matter. You make plans, people are involved, minds are involved. What happens when them plans are just stopped? What do you do? How do you feel? Ding, 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 ding. Write it below. Ding, 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 ding. Write it below. Very simple to do. You ever felt this type of way? So there we go. We got the blood pumping, right? There you go. Made you feel like, oh shit, you're right. And you know what? I know I am. Because these are all facts, in my opinion. Obviously. Quite obviously. If you haven't caught on by now. And again, episode 13. We teenagers now, son. We ain't fucking around no more. We ain't taking nobody's advice. We're honing in on the TrapHouse podcast. Fuck everything else. You know what I mean? When you wake up in the morning, I want to hear this. Hey, I wonder if the TrapHouse podcast posted anything. Instead of, hey, let me wake up and see who got bombed this morning. Or, how many kids got killed today? How many people got shot up today? That's the kind of shit you want to wake up to? No, you want to wake up to the Trap House podcast because we bring it. And we bring it fun. So listen, last week, I don't even really know when, but I say last week, it could have been yesterday. Who knows? I don't know. With time, I never know. But here's something to think about. From last week, we asked, what's the deal with war? Let me ask it again. I said, what's the deal with war? Obviously, you've had time, and I'm not going to go through it again, but look, all you got to do is just scoop some of it up. Just go over to the river of time and just take your little hand, make a little cup like a bowl. I learned this when I was a little kid. You put your hand put your hand out flat, right? And then you bend it in just a little bit. You bring the tips of each of your fingertips towards you while keeping your fingers straight. Tuck in your thumb, and if you could create a little time bowl. And you just reach down into the river of time, and you just hold it there in front of you, and you think about it. Now, as long as you did that, we can talk about what's the deal with war. I know this is a weird question, but why are we always at war? Why is it always human v human? It's always human v human. We're always like, hey, human over there, you got something I want. I'm going to war with you. Hey, human over there, you're doing something I don't like. We're going to war. It's wartime. And we brag about it. We brag about it. We're the winners. We're the winners of World War I. We're the winners. We won the war. Oh, it was a tie in Vietnam, swear to God. That war was a tie. Even though tons of people fucking died. World War I? Listen, anybody who thinks that we won a war with any casualties, you're fucking retarded. Welcome to reality. If you think for 1 second that war is winnable, if it's a winnable thing, you are fucking retarded. I said it. I just said it. What's the deal with war, guys and gals and everybody in between? We don't segregate here at the Trap House podcast, but we do try to break down something what seems to be normal because we've been convinced that it's normal. So if you thought about it, even just for this small amount of time that you've been listening, even just this small amount, what's the deal with war? So think about this for a second. I'm just going to throw it out there. Israel and Palestine have been fighting for, I'm just going to random number, 2,500 years. Something like that, right? They've been fighting over this small plot of land for so long, right? Now, it's like the ultimate battle. It's been like the final round for 2,000 years. Look at war. Right? It's human v human. But in this case, it's human v human, but they have a religion involved. And then each religion says, that's our holy land, right? What's the deal with war? Human v human, you gotta stop and think about it. There are humans who are fighting and dying for a small little tiny piece of land in hopes of in the end being able to say we win. They'll be able to just say, hey, we won. But in the meantime, we've spent billions and millions and trillions of dollars fighting over a piece of land that God said we could have. If God said you could have it, don't you think he'd just fucking give it to you? You're retarded. What's the deal with war? Just sounds like a bunch of egotistical pussies. Egotistical pussies in suits who are money hungry, powered by greed and self-hate, because they obviously hate themselves, and they just force others to go to war for land or oil or farmers' rights or for avocados or mangoes, or they're fighting over who can play basketball on what court, or who can play tennis on this, or who can ride their bike on this side of the street. Listen. Or who can drink out of this water fountain. Listen. War. What's the fucking deal with war? Why does it happen, and why are we part of it? And why at 1 or 2 or 5 times in history did the people who we put in power to govern us, why did we ever do that? Because then, okay, so you're a human, you were born, you've lived your life, you're 18 years old, ready to start anew, and then the people in charge say, you're going to war. Uncle Sam needs you. If you fucking buy into any of this, you are retarded. If they really wanted to go, if people really, okay, you got guys in the monkey suit telling you, hey, you got to go to war. What are we fighting for? Even if you ask that, what are we fighting for? You're fighting for freedom? I don't know about you, but the day I was born free. No need to fight for it. And again, if war is about freedom, why hasn't it happened on U.S. soil? Why are we always going over there? Why are we always chasing war? This is just me thinking about it. These are facts, in my opinion. And if you think about it just for a goddamn second, and if you're going to say, oh, wait a minute, we're fighting a war for this or for that. Wait a minute. We have everything we need right here. All we got to do as humans is stop fighting we're fighting ourselves. That's it. Were we not hugged enough as children? Huh? Were we not patted on the back enough? We need to wake up to the fact that we live in a world where we have chosen other humans to govern over us. Those humans have become corrupted, and now they spread the news. They feed us the news, or they feed you the news, because I definitely don't watch it. That's if you watch the news, I'm sorry. I mean, I really feel bad for you, because it puts you in a place where you are drained every day. You don't want, how do you do that? How do you wake up and get drained every day? But it doesn't matter. When you wake up in the morning, they say, hey, we're going to war. We're coming back from war. We did this. We did that. We won the war. You didn't win anything. You didn't do anything. Because another day is coming tomorrow. You're going to still need whatever you got yesterday. You're going to need it today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So if you have to fight for it, if you have to fight another human for something that you want, you're doing something wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that we don't protect our shit. But if we were a little bit more human, we wouldn't be going to war. I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Why is it humans versus humans? Why is it Israel versus Palestine? Why is it USA versus everyone? Why is it USA versus everyone? And if aliens exist, which they may, right? If aliens exist and there's life out there somewhere, I'm sure they've driven by this rock we're on, looked down, and said, fuck them, man. Who would want to interact with a species that fights its own species for land? That's fucking retarded. Retarded. 100% retarded. No matter how you look at it, I don't give a fuck. No matter how you look at it, I don't give a fuck. It's retarded. So what's the deal with war, though? Why do we participate in it? Why is it a thing? I'll wait. I think maybe, I assume it's because we have humans who believe they have some sort of power over other humans, and then they say, you know what? Let me flex my muscle. Let me flex my cock vein. And then they do, and then your son or daughter dies in war. Some don't even die in war. Some die at boot camp. You know? Somebody explain it to me. If you debate me in the comments. Debate me in the comments. Debate me through an email. I don't give two shits. I'd love to debate this topic with somebody. Because if you don't think about it as a human versus another human, I don't know what else there is how else there is to think about it. It's a human or a group of humans against other humans. Just don't make sense. But to me, it's funny as fuck. It's funny that we've allowed humans to be in charge, to send us to war, just so we can raise our hand and say, yeah, we won that war. What did we get out of it? Nothing. Nothing. And it was just something to think about, folks. Now there's something to think about, isn't it? But here's something to think about for the next episode. Charities. Where does the money go? Let me say it again, because, we like to put an emphasis on the something to think about. So, next time, whenever the next epi comes out, I want to know charities. Where does the money go? We'll get into that next time on the TrapHouse podcast. Again, you're listening to the TrapHouse podcast with your host, Epiphany Chris. Don't sleep on me. Don't sleep on me. And if you are sleeping on me, I'm sorry. Not sorry. There isn't anything that could stop you. So just go get it and do it. How was your childhood? Have you ever thought about that? How was your childhood if you're over the age of, if you're over the age of 30? If you're over the age of 30, how was your childhood? Like, comment, subscribe, and tell me below. Also, at 100 subs, there's going to be a huge giveaway. Don't forget. But how was your childhood? How was your childhood compared to today? If you've seen a child out and about, or if you have a child, and you look at that child, how was your childhood compared to today? Now listen, I'm not jumping into anything crazy. I'm just boiling something down today. We're getting out. We're gonna get out the schmelter. We're gonna fucking fill it up with some fucking molten magma today. And we're gonna boil some shit down. Today we're not looking to, today we're really not looking to do anything too crazy. We're just trying to, I just want you to think. Just use your mind. It's very simple. It's very easy. Just take whatever negative thought you got in there today and just replace it with something from your childhood. Just breathe for 5 seconds, stop for a second, and then say, you know what? I'm going to think back to a good memory of my child. Now. That's the idea today. Now here's a memory that I've got from my childhood. Okay? I was part of it was like a Boy Scout group, but it was like in the church or whatever, but not like the Catholic Church. where people peepees got touched. Not in the Catholic Church, like where peepees got touched. This was more like a normal church where kids weren't getting molested. So we would go on, like, we would do like the powwows and we would do like the camping adventures or whatnot. But listen, at 8 years old, I was pouring lead musket balls. What the fuck are these kids doing today? At 8 years old, I was pouring musket balls and letting cows out of the stanchion after their feed time. At 8 years old. I don't know if you heard me, but I was doing that at 8. They say kids over in the East sew soccer balls from 5 to 8. I was kind of in that predicament, but it was a good predicament because it was life learning lessons. I could pour musket balls. Who could say? Not too many people could say that. And I was doing them when I was 8. Almost lost my middle finger letting a cow out of its stanchion at 8. Ripped my whole fucking finger almost completely off. Got a scar to remember how to properly let out a cow. So these are life learning lessons. So at 8, those are some just memories and thoughts that I've had, after, coming up with this episode or whatever. But that, these are things I think about at 8 years old, pouring lead musket balls with the glove on and the small little thing. It looks like a ladle that your mom uses to scoop scatty. But this thing's fucking solid metal. Just these life lessons, right? Again, if you're over the age of 30, what was your childhood like? What were you doing? Well, I know now. There's gonna be a lot of people who say, "Oh well, technology, everything's changed." Yeah, of course it has. Doesn't mean you gotta use it. Doesn't mean you gotta spend all your time with it. It doesn't. But. There's no benefit of a doubt here. What I'm seeing today, compared to was in the past, where everything was a little more slowed down. Now, progression is a great thing. I'm all for it. But I think we're going backwards. If you debate me in the comments. But when I was a kid, physical movement was a part of life. Having to actually use your body to do activities. You actually had to use these things. They're in your body. Starts with an M. Oh, goddamn it. Muscles. Yep, there's muscles inside your body. There's veins. Your skin is like elastic. From what I heard, it's the largest organ besides my cock. But so we used to have physical activity. We used to have to perform physical activity when we were kids. If you're 30 years and over, you had to. A lot of our parents, they were like, "You need to get your ass outside." So you'd go outside and you perform physical activities. You'd have friends. You would have friends, but they were real. I remember a few. Fucking Bubba, Eric, Ryan, John, Gary. A lot of friends you had. You had a lot of friends when you were a kid. A lot of friends. Because you were outside, and if you lived in a small neighborhood, everybody's parents were like, you need to get your ass outside and be active. And we were active. We had shenanigans. There were shenanigans. Always with the shenanigans. And it was such a time, right? The experiences, and then you'd make memories. The memories you would make would be in real life or IRL. What's going on today? I used to remember driving my bicycle. 2 wheels. It's got 2 wheels. It's got pedals that your feet just fit on just nice, and then there's like this chain that connects to gears that then connect to the tires, and you use your legs, and then when you push down on your right foot, it pushes down, and then the left pedal comes up and then you got to push down with the left pedal and then it like propels you forward. That's what a bicycle is. I don't know when they invented it. It was a very, very long time ago. They even have bicycles with one wheel. Crazy. But anyways, we used to get on that. We'd have to drive on our bikes 2-3 miles, 4 miles to get to where we could hang out with our friends. But we did it. And that was before GPS was a thing. That was before you had self-driving cars. This was before your car knew not to go outside the lines on the road. And we got to do that shit. Now, there's more safety on the road than ever. And the kids nowadays are riding bikes in the video game. That's what's happening now. They're getting XP in video games. They're starting online relationships with strangers at 10 and 11 years old. They're pursuing sexual relationships at 10 and 11 years old because the screen told them to. This should scare the fuck out of you. And at the same time, it should wake you up. I want you to be thinking about how great it was to be a kid back then. What kind of memories did you make? Today, screens. No fucking real memories are getting made. The only memories you're making are the ones that Facebook tells you about. Hey, remember this memory 10 years ago when you actually did stuff? Hey, do you remember 5 years ago when you actually went hiking and you didn't do it on your Peloton? Hey, do you remember 10 years ago when you and Clyde climbed that fucking mountain? The only memories that are getting made now are online memories. Children's minds are being polluted. Now, I don't know about you, but if you haven't gone online lately, there are ads that are specifically towards you. Imagine you're a 14-year-old boy nowadays and you're doing a little searching online. How's Google gonna add? What kind of ads are gonna be popping up on that fucking webpage? What kind of ads are gonna be coming up? And then they get a chick pregnant at 14. I mean, just listen, man. These are just facts in my opinion, but this is what's fucking happening. Parents should be charged for how their children act. The parent, the parents, the mom, the dad should be charged with child endangerment. I believe they just stand by and watch as all this happens. There are kids swallowing magnets at 6 years old because it made their mouth feel good. And parents turn and blame TikTok. This shit is getting old. It's getting ridiculous. It's so sad to see. But hey, it's happening and I'm just pointing it out. You got no engagement between parent and child anymore. It's always go play on your goddamn tablet. Go watch a movie. Go fuck your friend on the internet. Go sext on the... go have fun. Go do whatever you gotta do to leave me the fuck alone. I'm seeing it with my own eyes. I don't know about you folks. I'm seeing it. Now, as a child, my mom was a hard fucking worker. My dad was a hard fucking worker. But I'll tell you this. They still made time and engaged with the children, with the kids. When you're working a job and going to school and you still find time to make valuable memories and valuable whatever with your child. Now that's a real parent. The problem with today is not the technology. It's not where we're going. It's the goddamn parent in charge. They're no longer in charge. Parents are no longer in charge, but they should be charged. They just piss me off, you know. It really just, it fucks with you. I was pouring musket balls at 8 years old. These kids are learning how to swipe Tinder at 10. Get this shit out of here. Get that shit out of here. I hope you had fun boiling this down. How was your childhood? Was it different from today? Obviously. Can you be a different parent? Can you make the changes necessary to be better? You sure fucking can. All you gotta do is just get rid of the TV. Get rid of the PlayStation. Get rid of the tablet. Get rid of it. Cut the Wi-Fi off for a month. You'll change your life. You will change your life for the better. Don't watch the news for 1 week. Don't do it. Just don't fucking do it. You need to check the weather? Listen, they got an app just for weather. If you wake up and say, I gotta watch the news to get the weather, just get the app that tells you how to get your weather. Don't start your day off negative. Be positive. Be bright. Have a fucking plan. And I say this all with full sincerity. I want what's best for all of you. I truly want to see the best in people. And why wouldn't you? There's no other way to see it. Childhood's a son of a bitch, isn't it? I mean, you don't know left from right. You don't know up from down. You got to make the mistakes. You got to make the friends. You got to make the choices. Hopefully you made them wisely. Unlike me, I didn't make all the best wise choices. And I'm sure you didn't either. But to say that today is not different from past, or the past isn't different from today, it's basically all the same. The problem with today is engagement. It's engagement. You need to engage. You gotta fucking engage. You gotta put forth the effort. Just a little time. Remember, cup your hand. Make a little fucking time bowl. Make a little time bowl with your hand and just reach down into that river of time and scoop some up. And value it. Put some value to that time. Let's not go to war. Let's not fight with one another. Let's not argue about who's right or wrong. How about you just fucking be human for a day? Scoop up a little of that time and go be human with another human. It's easy to say. It really is the easiest thing to say is, I'm going to go be a human. But do humans really need to just be at it all the time? Relax, man. You guys, people gotta chill the fuck out. If you take things so seriously, you're gonna be taken so seriously. And that's not fucking fun, man. Now, if there's a point to life, if there's a fucking bottom line, I think it's this. I don't know. The best part of waking up is waking up. These are all facts. In my motherfucking opinion.